Rows of houses all bearing down on me. I can.
You hear all these apocryphal stories about Thom Yorke in Oxford kind of angrily snapping at students in the turf or something like that. Or...
Yeah, well, it was Waitrose. I went shopping in Waitrose for just a few kind of bits and pieces.
A friend of a friend was in a shop, working in a shop, and Thom Yorke came in.
And he came towards me with his trolley and I was going the other way.
And she said, "Oh my God, it's Thom Yorke."
And he kind of gave me this dirty look as if to say, "Don't recognise me." And so I carried on and then kind of very unsubtly stalked him around the shop.
And he suddenly looked up and kind of like a rabbit in headlights and just panicked and literally ran for the door.
And just as he went out, I went to pay for my shopping. And I said to the girl at the counter, "Oh, it's not every day you see that." And she was kind of like, "What?" And I said, "Oh, it's Thom Yorke, he's the lead singer of Radiohead, doing his shopping, you know." And she went, "Oh, I don't really follow rock music." I was like, "Thanks." Okay, so this is the O2 Academy. What was the Zodiac until it was taken over by the corporate hands. This is also where Radiohead filmed the famous video for Creep. And they've had quite a lot to do with it over the past few years. I think in the 1990s they shut it down and they tried to get it back up and running. I've certainly been down here to see Andy Yorke a few times, and Tom's been stood at the back cheering his brother on.
Okay, so we're standing outside the Hollybush at the moment, which is where Radiohead used to play when they were on a Friday, which was when they were a school band. We were a school band as well. We weren't as good as Radiohead in that we couldn't get gigs. We did try, but we failed miserably. We're getting gigs now though, fortunately, but not here, because they don't do gigs here anymore. But here's a little piece of history for you nonetheless.
They do live sport instead, which is probably a bit more entertaining here.
Although not in the pub.
No, not actually in the pub. But it's televised, which is just as good.
Yeah, we went to the same school as Radiohead.
Abingdon School.
Abingdon School.
No,
well, yeah, because we used to play at school on a Friday as well, which is exactly that's how Radiohead started.
And we started making loads of noise, and we'd always come down, and they'd make up excuse after excuse as to why we can't play music. Like one time, we were told we were a fire hazard.
Yeah.
And like that was.
We weren't allowed to be left in the building alone.
Yeah, because.
I suppose that's quite a cool connection, because they were called on a Friday because they could only practice like on a Friday in this one room.
This is history right here. Ridgefield Road.
It's where they lived.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah.
So the rumour goes.
It's right down here somewhere.
Mm.
Well, we're from Banbury, so we kind of have Oxford as our home.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think Radiohead would approve of the Banbury connection, but I mean, where we're stood at right now, the Jericho Tavern, obviously, they've got a lot of history involved with Radiohead. Obviously, when they used to be on a Friday, they played some of their first ever gigs here. So to even be standing on that stage and thinking Radiohead were here at some point, that's mind blowing for me.
Yeah, it's good for you.
No, I was once run over, or not run over, nearly run over by Ed. I think it was Ed. I was just sort of crossing the road in Oxford, as you do, and then this car came, and I didn't see it, and then I sort of looked, and it was Ed from Radiohead. It's like, whoa, that's crazy, I could have died. But I didn't die, and he didn't hit me, it's all good.
He probably tried to kill you.
Maybe
Crimes against music.
He knew I was.
Yeah, he knew who
thanks.
you were. It's just these funny stories that you just kind of Radiohead appearances, Radiohead sightings around Oxford. It's like they own the place, but they're very secret about it.
I was in Oxford the other day and saw Thom Yorke, and we were wearing basically the exact same shoes.
I was recording a guitar lick, but it wasn't going very well.
So I saw him and I went, "Oh, that's Thom Yorke." And he started staring at my shoes, I started staring at his. We looked up at each other and smiled.
The engineer was
sort of trying to think of ways to sort it out. And he went into another room, and he came back in with a pedal.
And we just walked our own way, and then my mate was with me, and just said, "Oh, let's follow him." So we did, and we like followed him for about 5 minutes.
And I recorded the thing, and it sounded much better, and it was all fine. And it turned out that pedal belonged to Ed O'Brien, and I was very, very excited when that happened. And that's kind of the apex of my life at the moment, as it stands.
And he kind of lost us in the Covent Market, I think. So
He was on D.
he was in his hat. He was like,
Oh, he's
he
chilling.
could tell. I think he could tell that we were trying to talk to him. I don't think he likes that. So
It's like Radiohead's gear is watching you. You know, Radiohead's gear is judging you. It's not like Radiohead. Maybe Radiohead were actually. Maybe they've got cameras. Maybe they bugged it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you work for Radiohead.